We want to get you right to a breaking story just into our newsroom. The bodies of at least 2 people discovered tonight.
So this is happening at a home on the east side of Bexar County. This has specifically happened on Port Royal Street near Old Seguin Road. Right now, we're waiting for Sheriff Javier Salazar to speak about the discovery that was made.
Yeah, let's go to the sheriff live right now.
This evening, we got a call from law enforcement in Austin indicating that an incident or some incidents had happened there and there was loss of life. We believe that a suspect shot several people there in Austin, to include some first responders. Again, I don't have very many details on that other than that's what we know happened. Austin said that the suspect had links to this residence here on Port Royal. Deputies were dispatched to Port Royal where they initially tried to make contact. I believe they saw water coming out of the residence, appearing as if something was leaking inside. The decision was made to go ahead and force entry to the residence at that point. Deputies did force entry. They began clearing the house, and then soon thereafter they began reporting that they found one body and then another. And so at this point we do have 2 people that are deceased inside the residence. They are people believed to be in their 50s. And they do have one suspect in custody in Austin. I believe he's a man in his 30s. Again, he's got links to this house, but I'm not quite certain what his relationship, if any, to the people here in this house is. We believe that that incident in Austin started happening around 11 o'clock this morning, and so it's believed that this happened before that. This occurred, and then the suspect drove to Austin and did what he did there. Esta noche nosotros tenemos un caso de 2 homicidios que ocurrieron en esta casa. Aproximadamente las 7:45 de la noche, Austin PD, el Departamento de Policía de Austin nos habló para pedirnos que checáramos esta casa. Ellos nos reportaron que...
All right, we're listening to Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar. We're going to, once he starts taking questions, we'll go back to him. But he's confirming that 2 people in their 50s found deceased in a home off Port Royal in East Bexar County. A suspect now in his 30s, a man in his 30s in Austin. They believe this happened before a shooting incident in Austin that occurred about 11 a.m. this morning. I know there were a big outbreak of shootings in Austin at a school is where it started. I don't know if that's connected. That's kind of what I want to hear the sheriff talk about in the questioning coming up. Is it related to the manhunt in Austin that took place this morning?
Well, you know that Austin PD did reach out to the sheriff's deputies here, and they went to that area, that home, and what they saw when they were there was water coming from that residence, and then they forced their way in. Then they found one body, then another. So as Steve just said, there were 2 people who were found in that home, both people believed to be in their 50s. We don't know what the link is between those people and the suspect, the person who's in custody. Let's listen to what the chief has to say now.
There's more than enough indicators that it is a double homicide, but we just don't know cause of death at this point.
Do you have any information as to whether there's any more people inside that would have lived in this house, that you might find more bodies?
Well, no, I don't. I think we've cleared it of any bodies at this point, and we'll certainly go more. Give it certainly a more thorough search after we're able to get in and fully determine. Right now, our CSI unit is inside, documenting the crime scene, and then we will do a more thorough search. But at this point, we're not expecting to find any more bodies here. And again, we believe that this person responsible for this is in custody in Austin right now.
Do you have a name of the suspect?
I'm not able to give a name at this point, but in Austin, I believe it's a gentleman in his 30s that's in custody. Gentleman, using the term very loosely, my apologies, but he's in custody in Austin right now. And again, I don't know what his relationship is to these folks.
Sheriff, entraste a la casa y viste a las víctimas. ¿Tienen heridas de bala o una que nos diga cómo murieron?
Yo sí entré a la escena de los hechos. No logré ver las 2 víctimas enteras. Solamente vi partes de los cuerpos. Con una puerta estaba allí. Sí sé que era obviamente eran muertes violentas, pero no se sabe qué es la manera ahorita.
We believe this is also the suspect who shot a school police officer?
Yes, we believe that this suspect, and unfortunately, the folks in Austin aren't real forthcoming with the information at this point. That's unfortunate. So at this, all I know is from media reports that I've seen, that there were at least 2 officers shot there in Austin. My understanding is that thankfully neither of them died as a result of their injuries, and then several civilians were shot. Some of those were shot and killed, but I don't know. I don't know a whole lot of details about that, other than they asked us to check this residence because that suspect had ties here, and we found this double homicide here.
Have you been able to get any information from neighbors that might have heard any incident earlier this morning?
No, neighbors described that this is a very quiet family, that the gentleman that lives in the home, he is very involved in the community and the neighborhood watch and whatnot. The home is very well maintained, very well kept. It just, these folks, I'm not quite sure what's at the root of it, but I know that nobody deserves to die the way we believe that they died.
¿Austin está cooperando ahorita en ese momento? ¿Austin está cooperando?
Austin no nos ha dado mucha información tocante qué pasó ahí.
¿Por qué?
No sé por algo.
All right, my suspicion was correct that the suspect in the shootings and the deaths, I should say the homicides, they haven't been confirmed as a shooting, the homicides in East Bexar County is the same man that they believe opened fire in Austin early this morning. Again, to wrap up what the sheriff told us about what is happening in East Bexar County, the suspect in the Austin shootings linked to a residency on Port Royal near Old Seguin, 2 people in their 50s. Found deceased. A suspect in his 30s is in Austin right now. That shooting in Austin began at 11 a.m. this morning. They believe the killings in East Bexar County happened before that. And now we can get to what's happening in Austin, developing right now a string of shootings there today. They are all connected, and now they apparently have a San Antonio connection.
That's right, and that's we got a lot of information from our Austin Fox affiliate KTBC. So this all started before 10:45 this morning at the Northeast Early College High School. So let's tell you more about that. That's where Austin ISD police say that one of its officers was shot in the leg. Austin ISD officials say that the officer was taken to the hospital in stable condition. The school was on lockdown for hours until parents were able to go and pick their kids up.
Then about 2 this afternoon, a man and a woman shot and killed in a South Austin neighborhood. By the time police got there, that suspect had already fled.
So now police are investigating a 3rd shooting in a Southwest Austin neighborhood where they say that one of its officers was also shot. Now, right now, we don't have word on the condition of that officer.
But the sheriff telling us just moments ago, a suspect is in custody. The situation in Austin and now in East Bexar County continues to change. But again, the sheriff believes the suspect in these Austin shootings, a man in his 30s, actually had links to a residency here in East Bexar County on Port Royal. That's where 2 people have been found dead tonight. 2 people in their 50s. They believe those homicides happened before he went on the shooting spree in Austin. Obviously, we are continuing to follow this entire situation both on air and online. It has been almost 13 years since Pauline Diaz disappeared without a trace after leaving her job.
Diaz was last seen walking out of the HEB on Southwest Military Drive in Goliad. She was expected at the time to meet her estranged husband, who investigators have called a person of interest in her disappearance.
Tonight, Diaz's family is still searching for answers, and they say that may be the reason behind a recent theft.
Now, they also want you to take a look at a home video that you're about to see and see if you recognize somebody. As the night team's Patty Santos reports, the family is hoping that could lead to Pauline.
Started yanking it and yanking it and yanking it.
Juanita Diaz says she does not recognize the woman in the video ripping a magnet off her truck Sunday morning. The magnet, a mobile flyer for her missing mother, Pauline.
Parks next to the truck. She gets off and she starts ripping it off the vehicle.
The home surveillance video only shows a silhouette of the suspect, but Juanita believes the vehicle may be a shade of red.
Don't know who this lady is. Apparently this person might know something and she's just afraid that, she could be part of it, of my mom's missing.
Juanita says the theft happened just days after a podcast interview about the search for her mother. The 63-year-old was last seen leaving work at the HEB at I-37 and Southeast Military on December 7, 2010. Surveillance video showed her speaking to a woman before heading to see her estranged husband. 13 years later, Juanita believes the theft may be a message.
I think these people want it to end, want me to shut up and not say anymore and just drop it, but I'm not.
Both San Antonio Police and the Bexar County Sheriff's Office have been notified about the magnet theft, should there be a link to Pauline Diaz's case.
I'm not going to stop being a voice of my mom.
Anyone with information on Diaz or the woman in the video is asked to call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office at 210-335-TIPS. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
In other news tonight, we're learning more about the shootout near an East Side HEB that left the suspect dead and sent 2 security guards to the hospital. We told you about this yesterday. This started in the afternoon yesterday at the store on East Houston Street and North New Braunfels Avenue. That's where SAPD says that witnesses saw the suspect stealing food and pointing a gun at people inside the store. And when that suspect left the store, 2 security guards followed him and wound up exchanging gunfire. Now, we don't know the name of the person who was killed. Tonight, we're told that the 2 security guards that we told you about that were injured here are expected to be okay. Now, new on the Nightbeat, the fallout continues after a house fire. Tonight, we've learned what was left of that home on Ferris Creek near 1604 on Braun Road. It's been demolished. That fire happened Tuesday night. Investigators think that it was after a vehicle crashed into a water heater in the garage. Happened exactly 1 week ago today. Now, we know at least 1 person was hurt in the fire, and still tonight, that person continues to recover. A larger law enforcement presence. It's a promise that the Bexar County Sheriff's Office made to those who live in Alamo Ranch last month.
Yeah, that was not long after KSAT spoke to neighbors about their crime concerns in our Know My Neighborhood series. The night team's John Paul Barajas there as more neighbors got a chance to speak directly to the sheriff tonight.
Right now, it seems like they're making themselves more visible than previous.
I saw my first motorcycle mounted Bexar County Sheriff's deputy today. And the mobile command posts over here in Alamo Ranch, the cruisers patrolling.
Progress. Alamo Ranch residents say they're happy to see it just weeks after voicing concerns about a lack of law enforcement and a rise in crime during KSAT's Know My Neighborhood series.
Criminals want to find, like water, the easiest way in. So if it's too tough, they're going to move on.
September 31st to November 20th, deputies responded to 158 suspicious calls, 70 calls of burglary, 22 confirmed thefts from vehicles, and 18 thefts of vehicles, just in the area stretching from 1604 to Talley and Wiseman to Culebra.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a pretty big geographical area, a big patrol district, and cut it up into several smaller districts. That's the plan that we'll be presenting. And then instead of just putting 1 or 2 deputies in this area, you may see upwards of 4, 5, or 6 on a shift.
Sheriff Javier Salazar explains on top of adding extra deputies to patrol Alamo Ranch, they plan to set up a substation in the area, but a timeline on that still needs to be ironed out.
In the interim, the Sheriff's Office has placed this mobile unit in the area so working deputies can respond to calls faster. Right now, it's at the HEB, but they can move it to where they think it's needed most.
I don't have numbers in front of me, but I can tell you just anecdotally speaking, before we started that operation and when we started the operation, we were getting in vehicle pursuits with suspected car burglars just about every night. Now those are starting to happen with a lot less frequency.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
The sheriff says the mobile substation has been in the Alamo Ranch area for the past few weeks. He also says he's planning additional presentations for this month. We'll keep you posted on those dates when we get them. What are the benefits of being bilingual? That's the question we asked tonight at an annual Spanish spelling bee at a local school district. The #1 answer coming up next. An exciting night for local students who put their spelling skills to the test. Tonight, Northside ISD held its 6th annual Spanish spelling bee. The contest featured 50 students ranging from 3rd grade all the way to 12th grade. We were there tonight and we spoke with a bilingual specialist at Northside about the benefits of being bilingual.
Anywhere you're looking for a job, a lot of the questions, a lot of the qualifications that they ask for is being bilingual or bilingual preferred. So definitely it's something that places are looking for and they'll pay you for it.
It literally pays off. There are around 2,000 students in the district's bilingual programs. That number only expected to grow. By the way, the winners of each group in tonight's Spelling Bee will go on to represent Northside at the Region 20 Spanish Spelling Bee in February.
Ooh, that's awesome, and good luck to them. And yeah, and it's an awesome skill, and why wouldn't you want to learn how to communicate with more people, especially here in San Antonio?
Yep.
All right, live look outside there, 54 degrees, and that's a decent shot right now, but boy, oh boy, we had a nice sunset.
The new base, right? Clouds.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. See, I've been working on it.
You said it. I was like, what?
What?
I know.
I've got
the
more
new
than,
base.
I've got more than you know up here in this
New base.
noggin. Yes. Christ the King Catholic School. We did it all through elementary. It was great. Anyway, let's talk about our beautiful sunset with the clouds above. And notice the nice red, fiery tone we had very briefly. Mission Espada Park. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. Some drone shots. Oh, I've seen the progression of our sunset this evening. Not the 10 out of 10 that we've had in nights past, but still very, very nice. And you see the distinct contrail there from high-flying aircraft in the cold upper atmosphere of 30,000 feet, but the very hot exhaust creates those contrails, those lines in the clouds aloft. Tomorrow morning, feeling the chill again. 43 around San Antonio, mid-upper 30s in the hill country. Bandera, Bulverde 38, 43 Stinson, and pretty much everywhere around town here. But by noon, we're at 64 and then 70 for the high. 70 give or take. Hello to 68. 70 in Poteet, 72 Nixon, Smiley, and Floresville. Notice our morning temperature trend. It's still chilly here the next couple of mornings, but by Friday and Saturday, those morning temperatures aren't going to feel quite as fall-like. I mean, we're talking low to mid 60s. That's near our average high temperature for the day. Then a cold front comes, look what happens. Sunday morning, getting up and out, 38 degrees. Same story with Monday morning at the bus stop next week. Quiet pattern for us. We've got a weak upper level high, a little blue H that's sliding overhead, keeping our weather quiet. The main action across the nation right now is this atmospheric river coming on shore, this narrow band of thick moisture-laden air coming in off the Pacific, slamming the Pacific Northwest. They're likely to see another 5 inches plus in some parts of Portland or I should say, Oregon and Washington as well, even Northern California. Around here, mostly East Texas with the cold front that's going to hit on Saturday. We have a 10% chance, 10 to 20% chance of a shower or two Saturday morning with that front. Also with the rising humidity, Thursday and Friday, morning fog for those commutes, and you'll really notice that mugginess in the air on Friday. The biggest change with the front that's going to affect your day Saturday, the wind. Deflate the inflatables.
Deflate the inflatables. You had a frog in your throat or something.
Oh, yeah. I've come down with something. It's been going through the house.
All right.
It gets worse at night.
Get better.
Let's get him a cough drop.
Get him a lozenge.
Hi, so it's high school basketball time.
It is.
It's about that time where we talk about that. And
Finally.
we got to talk about the number one player in Texas.
Yes, Kingston Flemings. What a night he had. We'll have some big highlights from him coming up. He put up 39 points, and we'll also show you highlights from a girls' matchup between Clark and Judson. And today, UTSA star edge rusher and Smithson Valley product Trey Moore announced he has entered the transfer portal. It's that time of year where we bring you to the hardwood for some high school basketball, starting with the matchup featuring the number one guard in Texas for the class of 2025, Kingston Flemings. Flemings and the Brennan Bears taking on the Harlan Hawks. This one started out a back and forth battle. Flemings takes the contact and the foul for 2 of his 27 first half points. Second half, Harlan's Josiah Jones drives and finishes off the glass. The freshman had 17 points. Flemings had himself a night on the other end, dancing through the defense for another bucket and trip to the line. Brennan wins 75-61. Flemings finished with a game-high 39 points, just 2 shy of breaking his career high.
I felt like my shot was kind of just on. You know, for the whole game, they were kind of like not helping a lot. So I could get to the rim too. I feel like I missed a few easy ones at the rim. Other than that, I had some good threes. Got some good shooters around me, so the whole court is open. So I feel like I just get whatever I want. We played decent. Our defense wasn't good at all. I feel like we scored 75. We're going to score like that every game. But in order to beat the good teams, Stony Point, Lake Travis, you know, teams in the state, we're going to have to play better defense. So I feel like we had a decent game for early on, but, you know, we're going to keep on growing and get better from here.
All right, turning the action over to another big game. The Judson girls basketball team squares off against the defending 6A state champions, the Clark Cougars, led by Duke commit Ariana Robertson. First play of the game, they get it to Robertson, who dribbles baseline and gets the bucket to go through contact. The Rockets fight back. Malicia McDaniel knocks down the corner three. Other end now, Robertson there for the putback off the fast break to extend Clark's lead. The Cougars would go on to win it 66-47. Smithson Valley product and AAC Defensive Player of the Year Trey Moore announced today on X that he's entering the NCAA transfer portal. This, of course, is a huge loss for the UTSA football team. The star edge rusher set a program record this season with 14 sacks, which is also tied for the most in the nation as a redshirt sophomore, and played a pivotal role in UTSA's 8-4 season. Moore has proved himself to be among the best in college football despite playing in the AAC. So playing for a bigger program with more eyes will certainly give him more opportunity. UTSA will face Marshall in the Frisco Bowl November 19th, of course, without Trey Moore. And when we come back, we'll be talking Dallas Cowboys as they gear up for a Week 14 matchup against Philadelphia.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Welcome back. There are 3 NFL teams that can clinch a playoff spot this weekend, and the Dallas Cowboys are one of them, along with fellow NFC foes Philadelphia and San Francisco. Aside from a win, Dallas would need other scenarios to fall into place to clinch as soon as Week 14, all of which include the Vikings, Packers, and Seahawks losing or tying, and a few cases beyond that. But first and foremost, the Cowboys would need a win against a favorite to win the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles, who recently got pounced by the 49ers on Sunday, 42-19.
Yes, we want to get to this 10th win. We understand where they are. Get to this 10th win. So that's really, I really do like the stretch that we're getting ready to be on in this, you know, and I'll talk to the team more about this on Wednesday. But, you know, when you look at the teams that we're getting ready to line up, and obviously Philadelphia is all that matters right now. I mean, this is an excellent opportunity for us to play in playoff type games without playoff consequences, and I think that serves very well because December football is something that, you know, I've always enjoyed. I think it's a great indication of where you are as a team and what you need to obviously do to get into the playoffs and be ready for the playoffs. So we're looking for it. I mean, it's the Cowboys and the Eagles. I don't think you have to say anything more than that.
That's right. It's a big game. Sunday Night Football, a 7:20 kick. We'll be right back.